Okay, so this is going to be probably the most important thing you're ever going to learn in your powerlifting career, other than probably bracing. So I just made a 35-minute video that was way too long, so we're going to try to do this again, make it real quick. The feet do a number of things, right? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 different motions in the foot in a very general sense. I'm only going to ask you to start playing with 6 of them, or 4 of them, doesn't matter. Anyways, so the foot does this. It goes dorsiflexion, plantar flexion, inversion, eversion. It does supination, pronation, which looks the same. It actually does this windshield wiper thing that I can't control yet, and then it also does rotation. So what I'm going to have you do is just a handful of those. I want you to start learning how to pronate and supinate. Got it? Pronate, supinate. A good way to think of it with your hands is you make a bowl of soup, that's supination. Same thing with your foot. Make a bowl of soup. You're going to hold the soup in your foot. Supination. So the other thing I want you to learn is pressing your big toe or the ball of your foot into the ground. We always talk about we want 3 equal parts of pressure, right? Ball of the foot / big toe, lateral foot, and the heel. So what I'm going to have you do is bring your feet internally rotated and push the ball of your foot into the ground with the big toe. But you're going to actually have the lateral side of your foot off the ground. Push it in. Grab the floor, and then use your butt to rotate out like that. Now I have even pressure across the board. Also, my knees are stable. You can't move these bad boys because they're so torqued in. A lot of the times when people have loosey-goosey feet and they're just told push the knees out, right? Watch, inactive feet, just cueing knees out. Look how much I can move these with my hands. Like, it doesn't matter how strong your glutes are if you're not using them properly. So one test you can do for yourself is take your feet, put them out like this, super externally rotated. Now try to rotate your foot out, touch your butt, and try to squeeze your butt and rotate your feet further. You really can't. You might even start cramping up. Your knees are also not, well, you can't really, there we go. There's no power in here. So what we want to do is give us a position, or rather get into a position where we can express force. So one way to do that, and I would say the most important way to do that, is bring your feet as forward as possible. A lot of people think, oh, we should get our feet out as possible because then it lets you have all this hip room that you can just squat all day in. Sure, you have the mobility, but you have no force, right? Like, this is not doing anything. This is why I hate the cue knees out. It doesn't work for anybody really ever. So what ends up happening is, now bring your feet forward. You can have them perfectly forward, maybe even like 15-ish degrees, somewhere between 0 and 15 degrees, pointed forward. Grab the ground, right? Actually, loosey-goosey. Let's go loosey-goosey. Loosey-goosey feet. Now use your butt to rotate. Bam. Your butt is going to be so contracted. You're going to feel it in your hands. You're going to feel it in your glutes itself. Now, if we do the active foot, right? Active foot with this weird valgus internal rotation. Active foot means grab the ground. Bam. Now use your butt to rotate. So now you have even pressure, right? Now go into the squat. Still active feet, still squeezing the butt. You're not moving this. And I'm actually not doing knees out. I'm keeping my knees right where they need to be. When you're fully rotated about the ankle, your knee is going to be in this position where it's just going to track. And the deeper you go, the more out it's going to go. It's going to go out on its own. So what you want to focus on is, after you do your active feet and all that, just let your knees track straight. Focusing on that will actually let them track a little bit out where we want them. So, out. Maintain that, bam, go back up. Push the knees forward. Keep the knees long. keep the knees long, keep them forward as long as you can. Bam. You're gonna see this in Olympic squatters all the time. Their high bar, their front squat, they're gonna, boom, hit the hole, come out, and they're gonna push their knees forward, and you're gonna see them go. And yes, that is very exaggerated. Because the bar is gonna be low on your back in the low bar squat, and you're gonna actively be, boom, pushing back with your back, it'll all come together, and instead of going back and having to catch it like a deadlift, you're gonna, feet. Bam. I'm just keeping my knees forward as long as I can. Bam. The other cue is to get your butt and place it between your heels. So, without keeping this too long, I just want to recap the important cues. I'm going to throw a lot at you, but I want them all in this one video so that you can reference them whenever you want. Part 1, learning your foot, right? Do this weird shit. Bring your knee in, internally rotate everything. Medial foot. Plant the ball of the foot in the big toe, right? While standing up straight and having your foot mostly forward, rotate using your glutes. You're gonna feel a rotating pressure in your knee. That's good. Now, use your quads to press it into the ground. Bam. You are in this incredibly stable position. There's a lot of force. Your foot might even cramp up, and that's fine too. From there, so that's 1. 2 is going to be, we don't want our feet out. We want them as straight as possible as we can get away with. There's going to be variation. That's fine too. This is also true for most stances, including super wide. You're not really going to see people with wide stances and perfectly wide feet, but that's okay. You tend to, especially with your wider stance, get stuck on the lateral foot. You're thinking lateral foot pressure, but really what you need to be thinking of to make up for that is medial foot pressure and rotate. And because as you go down, the weight is naturally, by way of tracking the knees, gonna go onto your lateral foot. I want you to focus on mostly medial side, which means the inside side, grab the ground. That's where the pressure wants to be, slightly forward, then rotate. Don't worry about the lateral foot pressure, that'll come as you descend. So as forward as possible, no matter the position. Some people squat here, bam, as forward as possible. Not here, but here. And then play with it as an individual. You should be uncomfortable. If you unrack, let's say a moderately heavy weight, you go boom, boom. Wherever your feet naturally want to land right now, doesn't matter where it is, bring it in 50%. That's where I want you to focus, just bring it in 50%. And then we'll go from there. It will be uncomfortable, 1000% it will be uncomfortable, and that's totally okay. So, very narrow stance, feet cut almost perfectly straight. Moderate stance, more like my own squat, right? Bam, same thing. Feet, they started here and then I rotated them, they slid. Bam, go wider, perfectly straight, grab the ground, rotate out, feel the glutes. That's gonna be kind of hard to clear the hips, so a little bit out, but same thing, grab the ground, bam, not out here, more like here, or better yet, if you can, here. Play around with that, see what you can do. It's gonna be foot pressure, forward foot, and then we wanna think knees forward, or conversely, hips in, whichever gets you to do it right. Knees forward, hips in, or long knees. Keep your knees forward as long as possible. You don't actually have to try to force them over your toes so you fall, but I tend to prefer the bam. I'm trying to keep my knees right here the whole time. Bam, until the last second. I just got a quad pump from that. It's a beautiful thing. So those are your 3 big cues for this video. And for your squat moving forward, internally rotated feet, right? Bam. Proper foot pressure. Bam, grab the floor and rotate out. Medial foot pressure. And then 3 is going to be knees forward / hips in / long knees. Okay? If you have any questions, let me know.